In this video, you will learn what are the bidding strategies in Google Ads search campaign and how to use them properly. So the bidding strategies in Google Ads is the way of the campaign to go after the people, after the traffic which you want. There are two types of the bidding strategies in Google Ads. So the first one is automated bidding strategy, and the second of all is the manual bidding strategies. So the automated bidding strategies involves AI, and it usually takes the time to optimize automated bidding strategies. But with manual CPC or the manual bidding strategy, you're gonna have more control over the placements of the Google Ads. As well, you're gonna have fast start when starting your campaign, especially with Google Ads search campaigns. So our first bidding strategy is going to be maximize clicks. So if you're going to choose maximize clicks on a Google Ads search campaign, you can set maximum cost per click bid limit, and it usually optimizes on the maximum amount of clicks, but doesn't mention about the quality of traffic. So what I mean, when we're searching, for instance, towing services near me or towing services, we see the result here. So the Google Ads tries to, with this bidding strategy, maximize clicks, Google Ads tries to go over as many clicks as possible. So if you have first placement in Google Ads, you're gonna pay more than second placement in Google Ads. And usually what maximize clicks is, it's gonna go after the second or third placement, because if you're gonna pay less per click, you're gonna have more clicks per your budget. So if your budget is $40 and your click is $2, you're gonna have at least 20 clicks. But if you're gonna be on a first placement, it's usually gonna take more than average CPC, average cost per click. Maybe you're gonna pay $4 per click and you're only gonna have 10 clicks. So when setting maximize clicks, just consider this. It's gonna go after the cheapest clicks as possible. And usually what mistake I see with my onboarding clients is they use broad match with maximize clicks. If you're gonna use broad match with maximize clicks, you're gonna lose a lot of money. The reason is broad match is gonna match very loosely with the traffic which you want, and the maximize, and it's usually cheaper than the other matching types like phrase match and exact match. So for instance, if I search just a towing, or just, this is gonna be different search, and it usually, when you have a keyword like towing service as a broad match, it's also gonna target people who are just searching a service or your competitor's name. For example, if your competitor's name is X Towing Services, it's gonna go after this too. So after X Towing Services, and usually, for example, the brand names is cheaper than the actual search terms which generates traffic. So what I mean is, for example, towing services near me is much more competitive than the brand name. So for example, Jason Towing Services. So if you use a broad match as towing services or towing services near me, and it's gonna go after your competitors' names and also the searches. And if person gonna click on that, you're gonna be charged. And if person gonna call and ask for the company which your competitor is, you're gonna lose this client. So maximize clicks gonna optimize on cheapest clicks as possible to get as many clicks as possible. So it's gonna go after the competitors, it's gonna go after irrelevant searches unless it's used with exact match. When you have exact match as a towing services, it cannot target someone who just searching for competitors' names like a Jason towing services or any other towing company names. It's gonna go after just this. So exact match is much preferred with maximized clicks. It's gonna give you more relevant and cheaper clicks as possible. So let's go over the next bidding strategy. The next bidding strategy is a maximize conversions. Maximize conversions usually takes time to work well, to show real good results. It works good, but it takes just a time. If you have history of conversion data, if you're running Google Ads for 6 months, if you're running and you're seeing conversions, you can switch to this bidding strategy and you're gonna have good results, because Google AI will train on the conversions which worked for you, and it will show the ad to the people who are most likely to convert based on your business. And using the broad match in this case is preferred. The reason is somebody can search just towing instead of towing services or towing company and still can convert. So how Google Ads AI knows where to target or who to target, they use client signals. So for example, if person is interested in the services, like maybe he or she read the blogs about this or converted on other website, like if I search like towing services near me, there are several websites, and if I call to them, if I click on this websites, Google will note that, and based off of that, when I search next time with the towing, just the towing instead of towing services near me, my ad is most likely to be shown, because Google will think I need these services most. But there is a catch. Google Ads, like maximize conversions, doesn't have bid limit. That's the biggest downside of this bidding strategy. But it can still be applied with target CPA, so target cost per acquisition or target cost per conversion. You will have bid limit. So for example, if you have maximized conversions and the price of the click can go over $20 or $30, it will not have a bid limit. But with the target CPA, if you're gonna have special number, for example, you can set the price, like let me show you here. You can set the price of the maximize conversions here. You can set the price of the acquisition. So for example, you're gonna tell people to maximize conversions, but also considering the fact that you are willing to pay $300 for every conversion. And if you have that, it will have some kind of limit when somebody's searching for services. So, like for example, let me show you an example. So, like when I search towing services near me or towing service, I see the ads. But what I also see that the placements are different now, and if they have, I don't know if they have maximized conversions as bidding strategy, but if they do have, the first placement usually gets more expensive price per click, and Google Ads maximize conversions will likely to go over the first placement in Google Ads. The reason is the first you are, the first in the Google Ads search, the more likely user gonna click on your ad and can convert. So if Google thinks that the user is most likely to convert and it's gonna go over the other companies and other websites, just will bid higher than other websites just to get this conversion. And it doesn't mean that it's gonna get the conversion. That's the risk which you are getting. So if you paid more than others do, you expect people to convert, but it's not the case with real life. Usually, if you don't have a conversion data and you use exact match with maximized conversions, Google Ads will think that the search term, like the towing services, is more likely to convert. So when it's gonna bid a lot more than your competitors, and your bid can go over the average, for example, for $10 more or $20 more just to get that conversion. So we don't want that. If you're using maximized conversions, use with target CPA, or try to use after you get some conversions and then switch to maximize conversions. So let's go over maximum conversion value. What's the difference between maximize conversions and maximize conversion value? The difference is it's gonna optimize over the more conversion value. So if you have two conversions actions in your website, for example, one of them is form submission and the second of them is a phone call, and the phone call, you can set the value of the conversions. For example, the phone call can be $200 and the form submission can be $500. It's gonna go after the forms submissions more than the phone calls because form submissions gonna have more value. So it uses the same methodology as maximize conversions, but it's just gonna go over users who are more willing to submit instead of call in our case. So use a broad match, and I try to avoid using exact match with maximize conversions and maximize conversions value, because we will give Google chance to go over the people who Google thinks more likely to convert. And usually people are searching a little bit different than they are intended to search. For example, I can just search just a towing instead of towing companies near me or towing services near me, and still can convert. So use the broad match in maximize conversions value and maximize conversions. So the target impression share, this is different type of automated bidding strategy, and it usually targets the impressions, so the placements of your Google ads. So for example, you can set anywhere on the result page, top of the result page, and absolute top of result page. If you have a keywords like towing services near me as a keyword, as a phrase match, it's gonna go over the first placement on every time. So basically you can set the percentage of times where it should go over your placement. So for example, if you're gonna put absolute top of result page, it means to be absolute first in the Google Ads. And if you want to put 90% of the time, and you can also set the limit, for example, $20. So what it means is to be first in Google Ads 90% of the time on the bidding or the click when the click is less than $20. When it's more than $20, it's gonna go over. It's not gonna bid, and it's gonna lose the impression. So usually, I don't use target impression share, and I use manual CPC because manual CPC usually works best when placing your ad first on a Google Ads. So if you're using target impression share, just keep in mind to use exact match instead of broad match, because if you're using broad match, again, it's gonna go over the people, the less competitive searches like irrelevant searches or competitor searches, branded searches. So it's gonna give you more irrelevant traffic or search terms when you use broad match. And if you use exact match with the target impression share, it can work well. So use exact match or phrase match with target impression share and maximize clicks too. So let's go over the manual bidding strategy. My favorite bidding strategy. The reason why I like manual bidding strategy is it does not take consideration about user data first. So if you're just starting out your Google Ads campaign and you don't have conversion data, usually it's preferred to use manual CPC, and you're gonna have more control over the amount of the click which you want to bid, the traffic which you want to target, and also you will give conversions to the Google and make it learn faster. So to use manual CPC, just go over here and choose manual CPC. There are two types of manual CPC: enhanced CPC and also manual CPC. So the manual CPC, just the plain manual CPC, it's gonna have the cost per click set up like firmly. So if you're setting up maximum amount of click, for example $20, and the placements in the Google Ads here costing you more than $20, it will not show you that. But with enhanced CPC, you can go over, Google can go over your maximum CPC, so over $20 which you set as maximum CPC, just to get this conversion. If Google thinks it can get you conversion, it's gonna raise your bid using enhanced CPC just to get that conversion. But usually enhanced CPC works like maximum conversions for me. Like it's just similar tactics. But if you want real control, just exclude this enhanced CPC and just use just manual CPC. You're gonna have more control over the amount of time you want to show your ad and amount of time you don't want to show the ad. Use exact match. Do not use broad match with manual CPC. You're gonna have traffic which is irrelevant when you're gonna have broad match with manual CPC, because it doesn't take consideration about user data and what user did before they clicking on your ad. So I usually start with manual CPC and experiment between manual CPC and maximize conversions, and which one works best, I choose that. And it usually the testing begins after 3 months of manual CPC. So in this 3 months, I'm giving Google Ads as many conversions as possible and training the Google AI to make me great conversions when I switch to maximize conversions value or maximize conversions. So use exact match with manual CPC. You can set your maximum CPC or you can up and lower. and based off of that, you're gonna have maybe more clicks, maybe less clicks. But just look at the click-through rate. Look at how much you're losing impressions based on the rank. So Google has the column name search loss due to impression share due to rank, and just look at that. Maybe you are losing a lot of impressions because your bidding is low, the maximum bidding is low. Just look at that and just increase based off of that. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions regarding Google Ads, you can comment below, or you can just contact me through the website. Thank you. Have a good day.